Have you recently lost your healthcare coverage? That is exactly what we are going to be talking about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Jo Hutchison. I am an independent health insurance and Medicare advisor with Founders Life and Health. And there are a lot of people these days that are losing their jobs and losing health coverage. So I thought I would throw together a quick video to help anybody that is trying to figure out where they're going to get health coverage from. So first step is to find out from your employer if they're offering a severance package of any kind and if health coverage is going to be included in that. So a lot of the companies, some of the people that I've been talking with lately, the company is giving them a package where they are going to have coverage for sometimes not very long, maybe a month or two, but at least it gives you a bridge until you can get to your next coverage. If your employer is not offering health coverage going forward, then your next step is to look into Cobra and finding out what and how much Cobra is going to cost you. Cobra can usually be pretty expensive, and find out what the policy looks like, what the coverages are, what the deductible is. So that's going to be your next step. After you've looked at Cobra, if Cobra is going to be too expensive, then our next step would be to look at an ACA plan. If you have lost income, then you may qualify for a subsidy that would provide health care at a lower reduced cost. So we can look at that. Because you've lost a job, you are going to be in a special enrollment period. So you don't have to wait for open enrollment to get into Obamacare. When you lose coverage, that does qualify as a special enrollment period, so you should be able to look at that. And one of the things you'll really want to pay attention to with ACA is making sure that your doctor accepts the plan. Depending on what network you're in with the ACA plan, your doctor may or may not accept that insurance. If ACA is not going to work for you, or if it's not a good fit, then our next step would be to look at a short-term medical policy. A lot of times those are going to be a lot less expensive than an ACA policy. The thing you need to keep in mind with a short-term medical policy is that they will often not cover pre-existing conditions. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to a video right here that talks a little bit more about short-term medical if you're interested in finding out more about that. If short-term medical is not an option for you, there are a couple other options. There is something called an indemnity plan that will basically just pay you directly every time you go to the doctor or if you have a procedure done. There's a little bit more risk involved in a plan like that. There's also something called a cost-sharing plan. A lot of times those are through a ministry of some kind, through a religious organization. So that could be something we could look at as well. Last but not least is dental, vision, and hearing. That may not be a priority right now for a lot of people that have lost coverage. We're probably just looking at more of like a stopgap until we can get to either rehired by your job or get a new job somewhere. So it may not be a priority, but for some people it is a priority. So we can look at dental, vision, and hearing and see if there are options that we can add on to your policy as well. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help, and my services are free of charge. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell down below. I put out new videos every week.